want to ask you something before we get into this case. If a person commits a crime, but genuinely without knowing what they're doing, without any control of their actions, are they criminals? This question has been at center of legal philosophy for centuries, and right now, in 2026, it's being discussed in a courtroom in Massachusetts, in one of the most disturbing cases I've ever covered. This is the case of Lindsay Clancy. Her trial begins in July 2026, and here the question is not whether she did what she is accused for. The question is, was she knowing what she is doing while committing this crime? Hi, welcome to Pretty Dark Mind. Let's get into it. Lindsay Clancy was 32 years old. She was a nurse. She was a mother living in Duxbury, Massachusetts. It's a little bit more south from Boston. By every external measure, she was doing well. She had a career, she had a husband. The name of her husband was Patrick. By the words of their friends, he was really caring, really devoted, and really supportive. They had a daughter, she was 5, her name was Cora, also a son, Dawson, he was 3, and Callan. Callan was just 8 months old. But after Callan's birth in 2022, something changed. Carrie was diagnosed with what is called postpartum depression and anxiety. And to get over postpartum depression, she was prescribed multiple medications, which was antidepressants, mood stabilizers, and antipsychotics. And at various points, she was taking what will be 7 different medications simultaneously. The weeks before January 24th, 2023, Lindsay started to tell people around that she is hearing some voices. Her defense later described it that she started to hear hallucinations due to being over-medicated. And auditory hallucinations can be one of the symptoms of medication-induced psychotic breakdown. Her husband since filed a civil malpractice lawsuit against her doctors, saying that she was over-medicated, and she did the same on her own against her doctors. But the prosecution tells a different story. They tell that she planned everything because she sent her husband away to take takeout so she will have a window with her children alone. On the evening of January 24, 2023, Lindsay asked Patrick to go and take takeout for the family. When he came back, the house was silent. He found 3 of their children, Cora 5, Dawson 3, and Callan just 8 months old. He found all of them dead. He found Lindsay also severely injured. She cut at her wrist, she cut at her neck, she jumped out from the 2nd floor, and she became paralyzed from the chest down. She has been held in Tewksbury State Hospital after her arrest. There she receives a full mental care, a full psychiatric care. And also she attends every court hearing remotely in the wheelchair from the hospital. She was charged with 3 counts of murder and she was pleaded not guilty. Her defense attorney, Kevin Reddington, does not deny that Lindsay committed a crime. The only thing he disputes is whether she was on her mind and therefore her responsibility. The trial has been delayed for 4 times and right now it's scheduled for July 2026. The defense's strategy centers on insanity defense, telling that while committing all the actions she did, she was in the middle of psychotic episode. Plus, over-medicated. She had no clue what she was doing. This is what the defense it centers on. In April 2026, Lindsay's defense did quite an extraordinary move. They offered Lindsay publicly in a written form accepts that she is responsible for the death of her 3 children, and when she does so, her court will be divided in two. The first will be the establishment of what actually happened, and the second is her mental health. The second phase will be for determining that if she is fully mentally responsible of what had happened. But the prosecution refused it. Prosecutors argued 2 things. The first is that she actually planned what happened by sending her husband away to get a takeout. The second is that even if she is mentally unstable and committed these actions under being overstimulated, this doesn't 100% means that she doesn't have any criminal responsibility due to Massachusetts laws. The judge denied the request to split the trial, which means that what she actually did, I mean by killing her own kids, will be discussed at the same time with her mental awareness and what was actually happening inside of her head. Her attorney said, and this is quite striking, that she may not survive the court because she remains in critical psychiatric condition right now. Here is what makes this case extremely difficult, not just emotionally, but also scientifically. Postpartum depression is a real thing, and if we talk about postpartum psychosis, it is documented quite hard psychiatric condition. It affects 1 to 2 women through the thousands of women giving birth, and it's quite different from postpartum depression, because while being in postpartum psychosis, you can have no idea of what's actually happening around, where is reality, where is not. The research consistently shows that women who are experiencing postpartum psychosis can do some actions without any consciousness, so they forget that they did this. And this illness, it disconnects a person completely from what they're aware of and what they're doing. And for us, for people who haven't experienced this, it's extremely hard to understand. At the same time, psychosis is not what we're used to think and used to think about it. It's not always chaotic. It's not always being by some random actions. So sometimes psychosis from the outer side can look like somebody being calm, like somebody just living their life, just being like, oh, everything is planned, everything is done. We can't notice it directly. And the person's internal experience can be completely different from what we see from outside. So the question the jury is focusing on, sending her husband away, is this a kind of sign of premeditation, or was it something connected with being delusional and being protective over somebody? Forensic psychiatrists who have studied similar cases say that such kind of cases which are connected to psychosis and this kind of stuff are one of the most comprehended cases in the history, because there is no brain scan, there is no test of blood or something where it can be shown if person is really in the state of psychosis or not. So here the decision is only from couple of experts who are deciding on this mental point. So here it's all about human factor. And here is the third layer I would like to talk to you about. If Lindsay was over-medicated and she had psychosis, because of medication taken. She didn't give a consent to have a psychosis. She could not, to predict it. So in this case, who is responsible for it? Her husband's lawsuit, her own lawsuit. Both of these lawsuits are pointing on the one thing: the health system that missed something, that missed the woman feeling not unwell, being not herself. The trial begins on July 20th, 2026, and I will be definitely covering it. What I want to leave you with is this. Our legal system for centuries can't give 100% answer to this. So if a person commits some irreparable harm while being not in the state of mind, while being not here, who is responsible for this? And unfortunately, there is no clean answer. The family is broken, 3 kids are dead, the woman is waiting trial, she is being paralyzed in a wheelchair. It's nothing good and fun in it. I want to know where you land on this. Does psychosis can or should remove criminal responsibility? And what do you think the system owes people who were failed by their mental health providers? Leave it in the comments. Subscribe if you want to follow this case as the trial develops, and I'll see you in the next one.